Okay. Um, Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I'm in a little rush tonight, so I'm going to talk for around 15, 20 minutes. I'll take questions. And if you guys want, the next class we can continue because honestly, this topic is very long and there's a lot of beautiful things and we could talk a lot about it. So my humble opinion is that this could continue and we can do two classes out of it. But you'll decide. Whatever you guys decide, that's fine with me. I'm just, this is Mexicana Airlines. We're here to serve you. Adonai Sebatai Tiftach Ufi Yagi Teilatecha. So tonight's topic is the Zodiac. Now, the Zodiac, for a lot of people, could mean a lot of different things. So before we even start, I want to tell you that in Judaism, we take this very seriously. This is something that has been around forever. As a matter of fact, the Zodiac was started by Jews. Jacob had 12 children, and each child is blessed in a different way, and each child is assigned a color, a letter in the Jewish alphabet, a zodiac sign, and a limb of the body. So every single month is attached to one of the children of Jacob. There is a special color. There is a special animal, so to speak, or a sign. There is a special fruit. As a matter of fact, also, there is a special part of the land. There is a special limb in the body. So we're probably not going to be able to cover everything, but it gives you an idea. So that's the first thing I want to tell you. Now, in Judaism, we take this very seriously. When when somebody has a baby, you say Mazal Tov. When somebody gets engaged, you say Mazal Tov. When somebody has a Brit Milah, you have a Mazal Tov. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean? The word Mazal, people think it means luck. It's not true. That is not true. The word Mazal has nothing to do with luck. It has to do with constellations. It has to do with constellations. So when a baby is born, you are not saying, hi, good luck. That would be, what is that? Good luck. What are you in the casino? What are you in, what are you in Las Vegas playing roulette? Hi, good luck. I hope, it falls on red and, take all the money from the house. I hope you take all the money from Caesar's Palace and, take it home. No, that's not what it means. It means that we are blessing you. We're giving you a blessing. Mazal Tov. We're blessing you that which the constellations has in store for you and the blessings that are stored in Shamayim in heaven should come down your way. That's it. I'm blessing you that which is stored in that month or in the day that you were born, or the day you're getting married, or whatever it is, that which is stored in those constellations in that day, in that month, which means that there are storerooms in heaven, they should come down your way. That's all it means. We'll come back to it later. Okay, by the way, if you have any questions, please write them down. In 15, 20 minutes, I'll stop. You'll ask a lot of questions. If we don't cover all your questions, we'll try to answer them later on. Now, in Judaism, we take this very seriously. Astrology, constellations, astronomy, zodiac, all this is very, very, very important. We take it very seriously. That does not mean that every person you meet knows what he's talking about. As a matter of fact, the Rambam, Maimonides, which was one of the greatest philosophers and rabbis and doctors, 800 years ago, he said that he doesn't know much about this, and then he goes around and writes books and books about it. And he says that there was such a knowledge and that people did know a lot about constellations, and people did know a lot about zodiacs, and people did know about how to read the stars, But he says today most people don't know how to do it. And he says, I myself don't know a lot, which is unbelievable, because then he goes ahead and he writes books and books about it. So obviously he was a very humble man. But he was telling you, like, for example, if Amit is going to call 1-800 right now, 1-800 my lucky star or whatever it is, she's just probably going to 99.99% lose her money. That's all is going to happen. So, Amit, if you want to find out who is your prince, and, if what should be your stock, and where should you live, don't waste your money calling 1-800 my lucky star or 1-800 blah blah blah. So that's, in Judaism there is a tremendous contradiction, and I'll tell it to you right away. The contradiction is, we do believe in this, but we do not go around searching for it. What does that mean? Again, we don't call 1-800 numbers. We don't open the newspaper, the New York Times, and just whatever it is, the Washington Post, or whatever it is that you get wherever you live, and the Dallas Morning News, and say, based on I'm Cancer, so based on the month of June, what should I do? This is the woman that really would be perfect for me, or this is my color, or this is my gem. Yeah, don't do that. Says Judaism, don't do that. Why? I'm going to get to it right away and give you different explanations. Imagine that a king conquers a new country or a new province. Let's say a king conquers a whole part of the world. So many people in that part of the world start thinking, well, you know what? I should become friendly with the government. So some people decide to become friendly with the mayor, the new mayor of the town. Other people say, you know what, mayor is not strong enough. I'm going to become friendly with the minister of warfare, or who's in charge of the army around here. Another one is going to say, I'll become in charge, friendly with the minister of agriculture, because, I want to make sure that I can make a good livelihood. So there's all kinds of thoughts about who you should become friendly with. And then there are few of those, very, very few, that says, why should I waste my time with the mayor and the governor and the minister? I'll try to befriend the king himself. Why? Because mayors come, ministers come, but the king is here. And even if he's not here, his child will be here and his grandchild will be here. And they are the ones who rule. So that's the idea. So do we believe in the constellations? Absolutely. Do we believe that it makes a difference if you were born in the morning or you were born in the evening? Absolutely. Do we believe it makes a difference on 1 month you were born? Absolutely. Do we believe? So why not search for this? It's because it's like trying to become friendly with the mayor or the governor. Yes, the stars and the constellations have power, but why don't you become friendly with the king instead of that? Why don't you learn his Torah, which is, instead of learning just a little bit of something very basic, why don't you go back to the original source, which the mayor, the minister, they all must serve the king. The constellations, the stars, the moons, the Milky Way, they all have to serve the creator of the world. So in Judaism, we believe in it, yet we do not go around searching for these, spending our money, spending half a day trying to figure out. We are not like Madame Hillary Clinton. I don't know if you know this, but Hillary Clinton, when she was in the White House, she would spend literally 2 hours every morning calling her Madame. And the Madame would tell her, Hillary Clinton, on how to rule the world. So who was ruling the world? Was it her husband? Was it her? Was it the Madame she would call and spend around $2,000 a day to tell her how to rule the world? So, we don't do this in Judaism. So I'm going to jump at it. I'm going to start going through the months. Please, if you have questions, write them down. I'm going to go very fast. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of questions. Ask me. If I don't finish today, I will continue the next time. Okay. The first month that we have in Judaism is the month of Nisan, and the symbol is Aries. And the symbol is Aries. It usually happens in the month of March or April. And the word Nisan comes from the word Nisim. Many miracles happen to the Jewish nation in this month, and it is a very good month for the Jewish nation, always around March and April. And actually, tomorrow is going to be Purim. And when did Haman, through a goral, when did he cast lots to figure out when to destroy the Jewish nation? Actually, it was in the month of Nisan. And that is very good for the Jews, because the month of Nisan is actually something very, very good. The month of Nisan is when the Jews left Mitzrayim, Egypt, for example, and we believe that is also, we believe, when the Messiah is going to come. Some people say that it will come in the month of Nisan. So the month of Nisan has to do with Nisan, with miracles. Is the month of March, April. That's the first month. I'm going to go through the months fast. Then if you have a personal question about your month, about whatever it is, then you can ask me. The next month that we have in Judaism is the month of Iyar. The month of Iyar is what we have we call the symbol of Taurus. Taurus is this powerful bull. It signifies individuality and to be stubborn. There was a very famous tribe in the Jewish nation called the tribe of Issachar. Issachar were the Talmidei Chachamim. They were the most knowledgeable tribe in Torah. They were the teachers of Torah. They were the heads of the academies of the yeshivas. And this is their month. This is what they are attached to. And usually represents a bull. Why? The bull knows his master. The bull is not like, for example, I might make enemies here tonight, but please forgive me. I have no intention of making enemies. I'm not trying to pick on anything. But for example, the cat. A cat is an animal that is not very, very loyal. And the Talmud says the cat is not very loyal. But the bull is a very loyal animal. And the bull is always, he knows who the master is. He knows who to serve. He knows who to take care of. And that's the month of the bull. 5 major things happened to the Jewish nation on the month of Iyar. Manna fell from the heaven. Israel was commanded to observe the Shabbat. The Amalekites attacked the Jewish nation. And there was the beginning of the construction of the first and second temple. It was also the death of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was the creator of the Zohar, what we call the Kabbalah. And instead of crying because he died, we celebrate that because he brought Zohar, he brought the hidden meaning of the Torah to the world. It is also the day where the 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva stopped dying. There was a plague. And on this month is when they stopped dying. We have something called Lag BaOmer. The next month is the month of Sivan, Gemini, is Teomim. You have twins. Now, twins here, I mean twins, human twins. Why is this important? This is very important because this is 2 separate and similar bodies that come from one source. Each twin is attached to the other, yet they form a single unity. It's really talking about the Jewish nation and the creator of the world. When you see Gemini, you see twins, really talking about the nation of Israel and God. And what does it have to do? It has to do with Shavuot. That's the giving of the Torah. That's when God brought the Torah down to the Jewish nation. The tribe is Zebulun. Zebulun is connected to traveling. Zebulun, they lived in boats, and they would travel, and they would merchants, and they would bring in a lot of money, and they would support their brother Issachar. Issachar would sit and learn, and Zebulun would support them. So Issachar would give them part of their learning, and Zebulun would bring in the merchandise. They were very wealthy, very powerful. So people who are born on this month are people who travel a lot, people who are powerful, people who are very wealthy. Okay. Let's see. Next, the month of Tammuz is Cancer. Cancer is what we call the sartan, the crab. Now, the crab is a very weak animal. Anybody can step on it, but don't be so fool. Why? Because it pinches, its pinch is very sharp. So, it has to do with that. The month of Tammuz, Cancer, is usually June, July. 5 very bad things happen to the Jewish nation. It has to do with the sin of the golden calf. There was a cessation of bringing a daily offering in the temple. They breached the walls of Jerusalem. They placed an idol in the temple. There was the burning of the famous Torah in the Roman Empire. And but there is a lot of other great, amazing things that happen on this month, and it has to do with Joshua. Joshua was in the middle of a battle, and the sun was about to set, but they were about to defeat their enemy. They needed a couple more hours of light. So Joshua tells the sun to stand still and to moon not to come out yet. So Joshua was able to stop the sun, so to speak, so they would have a couple more hours on the day to defeat their enemies. So a lot of also great things happen on this month. Is usually on June and July. Then we have the month of Av, that's Leo. The month of Av is called the Father. It is a month of low point in Judaism. That is when we are told that the 12 spies were sent to the land of Israel, and 10 of them came back and spoke bad about the land of Israel. Because of that, God was very upset. The first destruction of the temple happened on this month. The second destruction of the temple happened on this month. But they say that in the future it will be as something very good, because they say that the Messiah will be born on the 9th of the month of Av, and there will be it will be something very good. Also, there is a day called the 15th of the month of Av, which is my favorite day in Judaism. What is it? What happens on the 15th day of the month? What happens is, it used to be that all the Jewish girls who wanted to get married would go outside, let's say, the fields in Jerusalem, and they will all borrow these beautiful dresses, and they would go out to the field, and all the young boys who wanted to get married would go out and check out the girls, so to speak. So the girls who came from a lot of money, they would say, hey, look at me, I come from a lot of money. And the girls who came from great families would say, look at me, I come from a great family, very famous. And a girl who came from a lot of beauty would say, look at the beauty. And a lot of the girls and boys would find partners, and it was a beautiful day for the Jewish nation. Also, it was a day where God would forgive a lot of the sins of the Jewish nation. It's the 15th of the month of Av, the beautiful, beautiful day in Judaism. The next month is Elul, which is what we call Virgo, and is what the king is in the field. So to speak, the king is on the palace the whole year, but there is one month the king goes out to the field to meet everybody. He goes and meets all the peasants, he meets all the Mexicans, and anybody can approach the king and hang out with the king. You can sit down and have a fruit with the king in the field. You can go on his wagon, so to speak. That's what we call Rosh Hashanah. It is what we call when God leaves his palace and he comes out and he hangs out with us. And God, so to speak, the king is approachable and you can really hang out with the king. It is a time auspicious to do teshuvah, to repent. It is a time where the king is very, very forgiving. It is a time where you can ask for anything you want, and is absolutely an amazing, amazing time. The symbol is Virgo. Virgo usually means a virgin. What does that mean? It means innocence. It means that God understands that we're not perfect, and he understands that we really should be innocent, but God is willing to forgive us as long as we try one more time to come back to him. The next month is what we call Tishrei. Tishrei is Libra. It has to do with beginnings. And Tishrei is the dearest of the months. Why? Because it's the number 7. The number 7 is always, Kabbalistically speaking, the dearest of all. So therefore, it's the 7th month. So the month of Tishrei is something very good. It's usually September, October, and it's something very, very good. It's usually when the winter is about to begin, and the color is violet and red. The letter is Lamed. The sign is a Libra, which is scales, which has to do with Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, when God forgives you. And it's a very special month. The next one is Cheshvan, which is Scorpio. October, November is called the Akrab, is a scorpion. And it has to do also with the heel. Cheshvan is the month where the Mabul, the flood, came down to the world. So there is a judgment. There is a lot of judgment on this month. There is the only month which has no holidays or special mitzvot. But they say this is the month that, because it has no mitzvot and no holidays, that's when the third temple will be inaugurated, on the month of Cheshvan. The next month is Kislev, Sagittarius, what we call, I guess, December, and it's usually the month of dreams. It has to do a lot with dreams, and it's a fascinating month. It has to do a lot with it has Hanukkah. It has to do with the God is always forgiving us and trying to save us. The color is blue. The letter is Samach. Yeah, and there is a lot of brotherhood between the tribes. Okay, the next one is Tebet, which is Capricorn, and the letter is Ain. The tribe is Dan, and it has to do with Asaph and Rom. It has to do with Rom. It has to do with the descendants of Asaph, and it also represents, you have to control your anger. And usually is a harsh month for the Jewish nation, but God usually comes to save us. The next month is Shvat, which is Aquarius. It has to do with water. It has to do usually with a bucket of water, which usually, the bucket of water has one function. What is it? To carry water. Is a vessel of transmission. Is a vessel of serving. So what does it mean? It means it has to do, water in Judaism has to do with Torah. It is a very, very good thing. It's a time of Kabbalistic learning. It has to do with Asher, which is one of the tribes. And it has to do a lot with pleasure and happiness. The color is green. The next month is Adar, which is the month that we are right now. It has to do with Pisces. There is one fish up and one fish down. It has to do with Mordechai, and then is Haman. Which one is up? Which one is down? It has to do, it's very Kabbalistic. The letter is Kuv, and it has to do, usually it looks like a bad fortune for the month, but it actually is very good. The tribe is Naphtali, which is a deer, a female deer, and it usually brings very good tidings. That's it. That's my whole spiel. Questions, comments, jokes, recipes. Go ahead, shoot. Yes, this was very, very broad. I didn't get into anything that you probably are so interested, but it gives you an idea, maybe related to your month or et cetera, et cetera. But it gives you an idea how serious is in Judaism, how serious we take this. You can ask me any questions you want. If I don't know the answer, I will try to come back the next class and give you an answer. Shoot.
Just want to put out there that I know we're a little bit short on time this week. Rabbi Lashak has another call that he needs to get onto. So we have only a few minutes, 2 calls that he needs to get onto. So we only have a few minutes for questions. So really, if something's in your mind, speak now or wait until the next time we talk in 2 weeks.
No, we have 10 minutes, and if not, please, we can continue next class. Will be much more. This was very broad. It probably was boring for you. I apologize. Next time we'll make it much more fun, more interesting. But go ahead, shoot the rabbi. Yes, Parker.
So I get very skeptical sometimes when I hear about the zodiac, because I thought it had to do with like I thought it comes from a pagan or Greek religion. Like how can we connect that with Judaism? Is that not like Avodah Zarah?
Yeah, it's a great question, Parker. I love it. So no, actually, we all began in Judaism, even close to 1400 years before the Greeks even took it. The Greeks took it to a new level. And that's why sometimes you have to be very careful. Yes, a lot of other nations, a lot of other cultures took it very seriously. The Chinese, listen, the Chinese have the dragon, they have the monkey, they have there's a lot of nations, a lot of people who've taken it and who have fixed it or changed it or moved it around. And that's why today, especially when the months have moved around, you have to remember the Jewish calendar is different than the normal calendar that we call Y, because the Jewish calendar follows the moon only 29 and a half days every month, give or take. And therefore, we have to catch up. Actually, this year, we have two others. We added one extra month. After 4 years, we had to add 28 and a half days to catch up to the solar calendar. The solar calendar has 365 days. The lunar calendar has 354 days. So you lose around 11 days every year, but they're not full days. So therefore, if we add 1 month every 4 years, we add 29 days, we catch up. So that is why a lot of times they say to you, oh, you're from Cancer, so you're from the month of June. Well, not necessarily, because the months change, that they have changed through thousands of years. It's not just always June. It might be June, it might be July. So it has to do with that. So to answer your question, Parker, yes, absolutely. The Greeks took this very seriously. There are thousands of books about the Greeks taking this and mythology taking it to a whole new level. Who started all this? Jacob. Jacob, when he blesses his 12 children, he calls each one of them, look at it, we can go through it if you want, and he names each one of them with the blessings. He also gives them a symbol. Joseph is the bull, you understand? And Dan is the snake, and each one of them gets a symbol, and that's each tribe begins the zodiac. And by the way, if you know how they were camped in the desert, there were 3 tribes in top, 3 on the side, 3 here and 3 here. And therefore, 4, 4, 4, and 4, 4, 4, 4, and 4 is 12. And therefore, it has to do who their other tribes were next to them, yes, and which tribe was near them, which one was far of them, because it has to do with their midot, with their character traits. If your neighbor is someone who gets angry a lot, you might get angry. So this is our whole discussion is absolutely incredible. But yes, Parker, yes, definitely the Greeks took it very seriously. Yes, the Greeks have a lot to say about this, but it did not start with the Greeks, it started with the Jews. We can talk a lot more about that later on, Jacob.
Rabbi, when you stepped away, we couldn't hear you.
Yeah, it has. Yes, the Greeks definitely have a lot to say about this, but the Jews started this, and we could compare one day, the Greeks and the Jews and what they did, what they took, what they added, etc. Yes, Parker. I'm sorry if I'm not answering the question any better. I don't have a lot of time,
no, that was okay. Pretty good. I can look into it more later.
Yes,
Thank
Claire,
you.
I've been meaning to ask you, what's your Hebrew name?
My name is Kaya.
And Parker, what's your Hebrew name?
Pinchas.
What a beautiful names. Oh my gosh. Yes.
I was going to ask if you have any recommendations to learn about the Zodiac through a Jewish perspective. I've looked into this actually, but I haven't found any books that
I will send Nicole 2-3 books that you can study, and you're welcome to read the books. And then later on, if you want, I will even offer to spend a half an hour after you spend the book. We'll have a Zoom one-on-one or with the whole group or whatever you want to do. I will answer your personal questions on it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Next question.
Okay, so I have a question. I don't know if you know about this, about birth charts, and about like how according to what time you were born, like different aspects of your personality. And I'm very like fascinated by all of that. Are you going to be like diving into that next week?
Yeah, I don't think it's next week. When is it? In 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually tell you if you're born on this hour or on this day, if you're born on Thursday at 6 a.m., what happens, and if you're born in the constellation of Saturn, what does it mean, etc. Yes, but you have to do homework. All of you have to come back, and you have to know what day of the week you were born and at what time.
I already know my birth chart. I'm just
Okay. So I'm Thursday, 6 a.m. in the morning. It's very important that you know the day and the time. Yes, definitely. Polly, what's your Hebrew name?
Leah Yael.
Beautiful names. Oh my gosh, Leah Yael. My mother's name was Yael. I love that name. Yes. Any other questions? We have time for one more question. But definitely, Nicole, with everybody's, if they raise their hand, I would like to, instead of.
Oh, we can't hear you.
No,
Nope, still can't.
Hello?
When you talk straight ahead, you're good.
Oh, straight ahead. Okay. So can you hear?
Yeah.
So next time, we'll, with everybody's permission, we'll continue with this topic in Mamish in depth, and we'll talk about their birth charts and just make sure they know what day and what time, and we'll really, then they'll have a lot of fun. Okay.
Hey.
Yes.
Wonderful.
I have time for one more question.
I think we've really summed up the questions for tonight.
Okay. All righty. So next time, I apologize. Today was a little boring, but next time we'll make it a lot of fun. Just find out what day and what time you were born, and we'll go through everything. And then at the end, you can say hi. You'll say here, Shoshana, Zach. Everybody will scream on their day and their time, and I'll tell them what the Talmud says about their day and their time, and then I'll tell them what the Mexican chocolate says about your time and day.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Rabbi Lashak.
All of this is in the Talmud?
All this is in the Talmud, and much, 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 much more, young lady.
How are we gonna get the recommendations of like what resources to check out? Like, is there any way that we could put them in like the Zoom chat?
I will send Nicole today or tomorrow 2-3 books on what is a real Jewish sources that you will enjoy very much. Definitely, please, if you read the book and you want to make a Zoom, you want to just call me, I would be honored to go through it afterwards with you.
And I have all of your emails from filling out the form. John will post it again in case you didn't see the form before. Fill that out. First of all, you'll be entered to possibly win a gift card at the end of the whole series, but more importantly for today's, you'll be able to be on our email list, and I will send you both the recording to this class, the other classes, and the books that Rabbi Lashak recommends.
I just want to know one thing. Claire, what are you cooking over there in the nice kitchen that you have behind you?
I'm prepping food so I can eat nutritional things before the fast tomorrow.
What kind of food are you making?
I haven't wholly decided yet. Right now I'm making sweet potatoes. My brother's making chicken nuggets, so you know where our priorities lie.
Chicken nuggets. Sounds good. Okay, let me know when you make shawarma.
Will do. I'll invite you over.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here with all of you. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Please forgive me, I'm running. And next class, we will definitely delve into it much more, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it much more. Have an amazing, incredible Purim. May you have a meaningful holiday. And it is a time to pray a lot. They say that this is the time to pray, and a lot of your desires from your heart get answered. So it's not just to run around and party. I'm not saying you shouldn't run around and party. I'm saying take a little time to also talk to the master of the universe about your dreams and your needs.